So right now we are joined by none other than Vivek Oberoi. So thank you so much for talking with NewsX.
My pleasure, Mandy. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we heard you, while addressing the India Spora event, and you started with Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
That's true.
Yeah. So what, in your view, and how is it important to talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam? Because Prime Minister Narendra Modi also talks about
Sure.
it a lot. So what is your view about it?
I think Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is the basic bedrock of the Bharatiya ethos, right? What India has represented for thousands of years, even before the name India was given to Bharat. And being India Spora as a platform, myself agreeing to become the Goodwill Ambassador, because when I met M.R. Rangaswamy in New York, I loved what India Spora was doing, especially with the Forum for Good, and it resonated with the philanthropic aspects of my life and wanting to give back to Bharat Mata through the people, through the underprivileged. How do we uplift people? How do we take India to this, front and center? And I think when I say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, I mean that there's an interconnectedness. And Indians are fantastic at not only staying connected to their roots, to Bharat, where they come from, but also they are able to integrate beautifully and add value into every single country that they're in. So if you see the flags outside, there's 30 plus countries here, and there are Indians from 30 plus countries who are contributing so beautifully and taking the flag or the name or the brand of India, of Bharat, even higher. That comes from a cultural context, that comes from a mindset that Indians have. We're not insular, we don't go into one place and just stay among ourselves. We interact, we integrate, we add value to whichever land is our Karm Bhumi, but we never forget our Janam Bhumi. And I think that's the concept.
Exactly. So we are at the event India Spora,
Correct.
and we are talking about the Forum for Good as well, and a lot of conversations about the inclusivity. So what do you think, in your view, that inclusivity, why is it important? And also talking about India. So how do you think India is, contributing to that particular thing that we are talking about?
I think inclusivity, especially from the context of empowering women, has been extremely important. If you just look at business, you look at politics, you look at agrarian societies, which is mainly India, the backbone of India, women are a very important stakeholder, right? We don't say Bharat Pita, we say Bharat Mata, right? Conceptually, in our texts, in our historical books, women have always held very high esteem, have been very big contributors. We're one of those places where, one of those countries where you had queens ruling, different parts of Bharat for centuries, right? Way back, thousands of years ago, you still had queens who represented. It wasn't just a, male-dominated society. Today, there's been a huge resurgence of women participation. Whether it's women-led entrepreneurs who are doing well, still less in terms of the total number, or whether it's women breaking the glass ceiling across the board. Suddenly, BJP gives a woman the chief ministerial seat in Delhi. Now, that's a really strong message. What's also interesting is that if you look at politically also, the kind of female voters who, suddenly the party thought of and said, we want to contribute to the well-being and economic growth of women as stakeholders, that paid off rich dividends. So they got, BJP, which was considered a very male-oriented party from a voter standpoint, suddenly got huge amount of female voters coming in and voting, and they felt a direct connect with the Prime Minister. So it can pay great political and economic dividends. And one of the companies that I've co-founded and invested in works with agriculturists, right? Small farmers, marginal farmers. Now, we have only 25% of women farmers that we've been able to connect with. And our constant endeavor is to make it 50-50. And we've got 1 crore farmers that are working on our platform. We've seen when we work with the women, they deliver exponential results. They're great investment, they're great economic investment because their sincerity and their system. They know how to come together. They know how not to fight about small things, about looking at the bigger picture, about securing their own future, their economic independence, and also investing in the future of their children. That's the big shift. Start looking at women. We've managed to jump the income of women farmers in that particular organization by 32-33% over the last couple of years of engagement because of their ability to organize themselves so well and work collaboratively. I think that's a great dividend that women pay.
Yeah. Lastly, I want to understand with you as well, we all have seen you as a, big Bollywood star and your contribution in the film industry and the Bollywood, but now you have shifted your game to entrepreneurship. You are an entrepreneur right now as well. So talking about that, what message will you give to the newly, coming entrepreneurs? And also, what do you think that entrepreneur can contribute in the social change and global change?
That's a very interesting question. I think Bollywood's blessed me with a lot, and I'm very thankful for my acting career that gave me such a big stage and a platform on a global scale. But I'm happy that now it's more of a hobby, more of a passion, and I can pursue the art for art and have fun with it rather than it becoming like an income source for me. In fact, most of my income of fees from being an actor, whether it's appearances or a film, when it comes to New York, I think the first step is to go by the Vedic principles of decision making, which are Vivek, Neti, Vairagya. So that's how I use my work. Which are means basically the opportunity is how you should go about it. Vivek is the thing, is this really good and am I really good for this business? Can I really add value and contribute to that business? Can the business add value and contribute to me? And I think maybe it's eliminate all the distractions of what we're doing, right? Then get excited and say, you need to know what exactly you're doing. Like amplification now. So that has to be the Neti aspect. And then you come to Vairagya, which is effulgence, oneness. Once you achieve that goal, now you let it flow. Don't try to own it with a sense of ego. Let it be its own being, right? And then now the business becomes an entity that's creating wealth. I also advise them that, look, there are 3 steps. And the first step is always money, because that gives you strength, economic strength. The second step transitions from money to wealth. Money is transactional. Wealth is participative, where you can now start involving other people, giving ESOPs, making shareholders, making people grow along with you as a company, as an organization. So you move from money to wealth. And when you move from money to wealth, you also move with the final vision of value. How do you create value? How do you uphold values? How do you create something which has purpose? Because whenever you have profit, that's good. But profit's for a quarter, purpose is for life.
Yeah.
And when you have a purpose-driven company, you stitch together an entire organization with a single vision and a dream to make impact, to join the purpose, to actually see that purpose prosper. And that purpose creates loyalty beyond logic, whether it's in your ranks, people who are working in the organization, or outsiders, could be even consumers who may look at you and say, I love this company, like I love Tata, because they're purpose-driven. So anything Tata does, I believe. Has immense integrity, I have tremendous faith in the vision of the organization, right? So I think that's the way young entrepreneurs should think.
Indeed. Thank you so much for talking with us and giving your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.